getting bruised and stuff. Like nothing super bad happened to the cop. Um, but yeah, that's. I
Well,
mean,
let me
it
give
does.
you the details on that
Oh,
because
okay.
it was it was just okay. So here's the officer who did attach himself to the car. Sorry, I'm going to try to get through this with a somewhat straight face, but suffered pain, swelling, and abrasions to his wrist and knee, and get this, his uniform pants, $80 uniform pants, were damaged beyond repair.
Ouch.
I just want to hold a let's hold a moment in silence for the pants that were damaged beyond repair. Okay. Hello and welcome back to another episode of your favorite couch potatoes. I am Kyle, as joined as always by my lovely co-host Feist and Wesley, and boy do we got some interesting sports news going on.
Yes, we do.
Well, let's start it off with none other than what I woke up to this morning, which is like 50 reports of
Hmm.
Scotty Scheffler arrested. What the? For what? And it was just all over my timeline. But so he was arrested and released before I even woke up. So like I had no idea what was going on. But I'll kind of tell you. So allegedly, what happened was there was an accident on the way to uh, the PGA Championship location, Valhalla, and allegedly what that was is a man either ran in front of a bus or got hit by a bus, and he unfortunately passed away. But it caused like a traffic like backup, and Scheffler thought it was security, is what the reports are, and he pulled around to try and just like get to hit whatever his workout or whatever, getting ready for the day, and the police told him to stop, but he didn't, and then a policeman attached himself to the car, so he like grabbed onto it or something, and he traveled like 10-20 yards before Scheffler eventually stopped. um, and then there was just a bunch of confusion. That's what it really sounds like, is there was a bunch of confusion because like once he stopped, they're like trying to get Scheffler out the car, and I assume Scheffler's probably like, what the hell do I have to get out of the car for? I'm just trying to get in, get into my thing. And
Yeah.
so after like 20-30 seconds, they said he rolled down his window, and then they continued to argue. And then the officer grabbed Scheffler's arm out of like from the car, pulled him out of the car, and like did the cop thing, placed him up against the door, put him in handcuffs and everything. Um, but yeah, so then he got taken to jail. I heard from him like a interview he did, that he did his stretching routine in the prison cell this morning, just getting ready to go. Um, but yeah, I mean, did you guys see anything about that? What do you guys think about that? Just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
starting it off.
fucking. Well, I wake up a lot earlier than these guys, so about 2 hours into my workday today, I started getting notifications that Scheffler was arrested, and I was like, "The fuck is going on?" Like, and
Right.
didn't get too deep into the articles about it. So this is all this stuff is new to me, and fucking, I did hear about the cop getting bruised and stuff. Like nothing super bad happened to the cop. Um, but yeah, that's. I
Well,
mean,
let me
it
give
does.
you the details on that
Oh,
because
okay.
it was it was just okay. So here's the officer who did attach himself to the car. Sorry, I'm going to try to get through this with a somewhat straight face, but suffered pain, swelling, and abrasions to his wrist and knee, and get this, his uniform pants, $80 uniform pants, were damaged beyond repair.
Ouch.
I just want to let's hold a moment in silence for the pants that were damaged beyond repair. Okay. I couldn't believe this, dude. Sorry to interrupt you, Wesley. I did see that about the cop, and man, it's a wild situation for sure.
I definitely think it was all a misunderstanding. I mean, obviously Scheffler didn't understand what was going on, and he was trying to make it to his round, um, and I just a huge misunderstanding all around. I don't think Scheffler was trying to do anything wrong. Um, I mean, obviously he was locked in for his round today. So didn't
Yep.
see the cop holding on to his car for a good 10 seconds, but yeah, a huge
Golly.
misunderstanding.
He must have used it as motivation to push through his round because he did really well on his round. But I mean, it just sounds like one of those situations where an athlete, um, in a way, was trying to get to what he needed to get to. They're professional athletes; they have like that's a
Yeah.
job. So, and then this cop sounds like he's trying to make it more than what it really was. $80 pants. Okay, let's go
Damage
ahead and
beyond
start. Hey, look,
repair.
audience, let's go ahead and start a GoFundMe right now for that guy's pants, please. Um, yeah, what a
It was
ridiculous
crazy,
story.
dude. But I guess so. Like technically, what Scheffler is facing is four different charges: second degree assault of the officer, third degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding signals from an officer directing traffic. So that's like the technical
Wow.
lawyer terms or whatever. But basically, it seems like it was a traffic confusion. And honestly, I think the cops just fucked this up. Like I saw this meme, the Hangover. It's from the Hangover movie, and it's where Bradley Cooper's character. He's like, they're in the middle of the desert, and he's on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, we fucked up." It was like the officer calling his supervisor or whatever. Like, yeah, it
Well,
kind of
I
seems
mean,
what it was like to me.
I
Because
think Scheffler messed up too. I mean, I don't think it's all on the cop, but the cop's obviously making it a little bit bigger than it needed to be. I mean, it's on
mm-hmm.
Scheffler too for not being able to see what was going on. So, I mean, I don't think second degree assault is liable. I think, but I mean, any, anything happens with court cases in the United States, so people get sued for a
That's
lot of
very
different
true.
things. So
That's very true. He is. I did see his like arraignment was scheduled for the Tuesday, but like you guys said, didn't affect him all on the course. Like he had a really good day. He was 5 under today, and I think he's -9, which is like three back of the lead. So like is doing Scotty Scheffler things and didn't seem to affect him at all. So it'd be
yeah,
pretty cool to see him even win this tournament. Just after that, I can't imagine all the memes, posts, and
Stories.
all the things that will come from that. But moving on, so we'll go into more sports news around the world here, and I wanted to kind of bring up the UFC because I know we're getting to the conference finals in the NBA, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and obviously it's the off season for the NFL, so we're unfortunately to say we're creeping up on that dead summer, not a lot of sports going on time, but honestly, the UFC kind of might keep us like interested throughout the summer because they got some stacked cards coming up. Now, I think all of these are on like ESPN Plus usually because right they got the deal or whatever, so you
yeah,
can
ESPN
buy the
Plus.
pay-per-view on ESPN Plus. Yeah. So the soonest one, the big one is UFC 302, which my boy and all the homies will appreciate this. Dustin Poirier. Oh boy, what a night that was! But when Dustin Poirier kicked Conor McGregor's ass, but yeah, we won't get into that. But he's going to be fighting Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. Now, kind of interesting thing I saw about this because I follow Dustin on Instagram, it'll be his 40th fight total over his 15-year career to this point. And it was like he reposted it. It was like a Twitter fan or something saying it would be really cool if he retired after winning the belt. So is he kind of thinking this might be his last fight?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he would
maybe.
have to win the title. I hate that guy.
I mean, maybe. I mean,
It'd definitely
Dustin's
be
gone through a
his
lot,
time.
so Dustin's gone through a lot, though. So I mean, and he's getting up there in age, so maybe,
Right.
maybe.
It could be. It would definitely be a cool way to go out. Maybe if he does win, he kind of thinks about it, right off into the sunset, and he's fine vacating his title after retiring, but we'll have to see what happens.
I mean,
I
he's a
know that
good
Sean,
fighter.
what's that?
He is a good fighter, but he has a hard opponent too. So I mean,
Hmm.
it should be a really good fight. Even though I really do hate Dustin, I mean, I'm always gonna.
How could you hate Dustin? What does Dustin do?
Nobody's
Done.
better than Conor McGregor, baby. Anyways, I'm
Dustin's
still
like
salty.
like the poster boy, good boy of the UFC. Like he's the one
Nah, nah. I remember when Connor was like his leg was broken or whatever, and he goes, "Your wife is in me DMs."
that on the ground.
I laughed at that so hard, and ever since then, dude, I hated that guy. But no, he
Yeah,
should have a good fight. I think it's gonna be like an absolute banger. I honestly would like to see him retire with the belt, but I mean, it's not going to be an easy fight. It's going to be a dog fight. So,
definitely. I did see he is like a plus 360 underdog, which is pretty not great odds for the fight. And he's kind of like you said, Wesley. He's been through a lot. I feel like he's up and down. Like he's either going through like the best parts of his career, or then he loses and he's kind of goes down. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I know another fan favorite that'll be on the card is Sean Strickland. He'll be fighting Paulo Costa, so won't just be that Dustin Poirier fight. We'll have a couple of good fights that night at least. So looking forward to that. And then you move on to UFC 303, which Vice you're probably very excited about.
that's my
And I know
boy.
the whole UFC fan base is Conor McGregor's coming back, baby. June
Give,
29th.
give me one sec. This one deserves something a little bit special.
It does,
That's my boy, dude.
it does. You excited for it?
Dude, I'm so excited. It's good to see him back in action. I think he's just one of those players you love his swagger. You love what he brings. He's an entertainer. And so I feel like that's been missing the UFC since since his broken leg or whatever. And so I'm really excited for that fight. It should be a good dog fight too, and to see if Connor still got it, or if he turns into a Ronda Rousey where he had all the show and
Yeah,
then he ended up getting kicked or whatever, or I mean his leg broken and he just lost it. So I'm excited. I love Connor. I love how character he is, and so and yeah, should be a good one.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
me and Wes talked about it last week, where Eddie Hall. We were talking about the strong men, and we
Right,
were talking about Eddie Hall, and Eddie Hall is kind of like um, the character. Like he's not the best UFC or like strongman, and Connor's not the best UFC guy of all time,
right.
but he's that character, and he's brought so much to the sport. That's
Yep.
where he's so beneficial.
yeah, and I think just Connor being back, obviously he brings that shit talking personality back to the sport, like you guys are saying. Um, but then also with him coming back, fighting Michael Chandler too, because I know these two guys fucking hate each other.
Yep.
Yep.
They do not like each other. So I mean, coming back off of a leg injury where he snapped his leg, which he already had a fracture before he fought Dustin. So I think it was a little bit of a wash fight. There's a little bit of an asterisk there next
We
to
got to
Dustin's
make some
win, but
excuses.
but I coming back off of that, I mean, the dude's fucking huge now. Like he was fucking ripped
Yeah.
for the last few months.
We haven't seen this kind of Conor McGregor, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, and obviously, because Dana White even talked about this too. Like some guys, they'll come out and they'll testosterone boost or they'll take steroids, stuff like that to heal faster and to heal stronger. And honestly, I think that's what Connor was doing, and that's why we've seen him just this fucking massive ripped dude. And but obviously he's got to wean off of that, and so that's why his fight kept on getting pushed back with Michael Chandler. But I can't wait to watch it. Conor McGregor's always a character, and these two hate each other, so I can't wait for the weigh-ins and stuff like that. All the shit talking to happen.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's close. We're almost there.
You're definitely going to hear a few of, your wife is in me DMs. So, and moving on from that, we also have UFC 304 on July 27th. It's going to be Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad for the welterweight for the world welterweight championship. I'm excited for that
just play
one.
your clapping sound for getting that done.
I'm excited for that one, but let me clap for myself because that was hard to read for some reason. English not very good, people. What do you guys think on that one?
Well, Leon Edwards, it is Leon, and he was the one that knocked out Usman. I think that's what kind of made him famous. So he's been killing it lately. And those two guys, they're both on heavy win streaks. That's what I saw. Leon's on a 13-fight win streak, and then Muhammad's on a 10-fight win streak.
Oof.
So it's a big one. Then. So the co-main event is going to be for the interim world heavyweight championship. And that title was vacated, so that'll be another big fight. And then we got another kind of fan favorite, Paddy the Baddy's going to be back on the card versus Bobby Green. So that'll be exciting to see.
Who do you think takes that one?
Well, I'm going to keep rolling with Paddy the Baddy until he loses, I think. So I'm just a fan of him, just kind of like the Conor McGregor thing. So what about you guys?
I like Paddy the Baddy too. I mean, it's hard to go against him. The guy's awesome. So
hell yeah.
I might have to change my pick later, as I always do, but I'm going to have to go with your boy as well, too. I mean, he's been on a hot streak, so why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, baby, and that's what he's doing, so.
Let's go. And then I can't remember the date for UFC 306. I know it's still far out, but it's going to be in that new Las Vegas Sphere. I heard Dana White talking about it, like nobody's going to pay the amount of money that he's going to pay to put on a show or something like that in there. I can't imagine what the ticket prices are going to be for that, dude. Like thousands upon thousands of dollars just to sit up top or whatever it is. But
yeah,
that'll be a fucking show.
Well, we definitely can't afford it, so we'll be watching it from home.
I think it'll be a cool show, though. I mean, to be honest, I mean, have you guys ever seen the inside of the Sphere? It's like a stage, right? So
I've seen videos and stuff. Yeah.
Obviously, but like looking down onto it is like a normal stage. You know what I mean? Like a concert stage. It's not like a ring where it's surrounded by everybody. I don't know how the Sphere is going to work with the fight. You know what I mean? Like when concerts and stuff, they have like a bunch of images that wrap the screens, and it's super cool. But I don't know how they'll use the screens in the fight, which is probably what I'm most interested about. So,
yeah, I'm excited to see it, man. It's a good little stretch that UFC has. So I'm excited to see what it all has in store.
Okay, moving on to some NFL news. We've got the Detroit Lions extending QB Jared Goff to a 4-year, $212 million contract with $170 million guaranteed.
Ooh.
Woo-wee! That's some money. That's some fucking money right there.
God damn. For Jared Goff, of all people? No, I'm just kidding. I love Jared Goff. Detroit's spending some money this offseason.
Yeah,
it's like the third person they've extended.
I mean, they got their core. They've got the guys they want. I think Jared Goff. I mean, Jared Goff's shown that he can make it to the Super Bowl. Um, I don't see this as a bad signing at all. I think Jared Goff. I honestly, in my honest opinion, I think Jared Goff is a better all around quarterback than Dak Prescott. So.
Ooh.
Wait, pause.
There you go. There you go.
You can say that again, baby.
Hey, that's actually a good point. What does this deal, spell out for Dak Prescott? Do you guys think Dak gets a bigger deal? Is he gonna take what does it mean for Dak now?
Hopefully he gets sacked. No deal. But
Okay. Oh, play the crows, Feist. That was such a good joke.
Oh, that one. I hate that, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if he should be getting any kind of contract until he can prove that he can get. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He is a good quarterback. But something about the playoffs comes, and this dude just is nowhere to show up. Like what is going on? Like the last 3 years, you've made it to the playoffs, you've killed the season, you get everybody's hopes up, and then the first round you can't get through. Two of them against Green Bay last year. I'm like, so I how do you pay a guy that can perform really well in the season but then can't perform postseason? Like postseason really more means more than the regular season, and so that's what irritates me, and that's why I don't think Dak should be getting any kind of money like this. Like 170 guaranteed, that's a lot of money. So what can you do? Can you push us through that first round and actually get into that second and make it further in the playoffs? Sure, if you do that, then maybe I would say you're worth it. But it's been consistently the last 3 or 4 years where he's just chokes on the third, and you're the quarterback, you're the leader of that team, you make everything happen. And I don't feel like he's been able to do that. He does it all season long. He does some big clutch games, and then playoffs comes, and he's like, "I'm good." So
Well, I mean, I mean, but Jared, that's why we're saying is like that's why we think honestly that Jared Goff is better because he's proven to get past those rounds and he's proven to get to the Super Bowl. I know he did it with the Rams, but I mean, he made it to the NFC Championship this year, right? Was it the championship that the Lions got
Yep.
eliminated? Yeah. Um, and
Yeah. And they
I
had a
mean,
big lead in that game. Like very well could have got to the Super Bowl.
yeah. I think that Jared Goff deserves this because he has proven to be able to get to that spot where his team's in the position to win a championship, a Super Bowl. And I just think I love what Detroit's doing. I love what they're doing. I love that they're keeping their people, their core, the people that are actually contributing to a playoff run, to a Super Bowl run, and I love the signing. I think it's a good signing for them. And
I'd have to
then
agree with you, Wesley.
yeah, and then moving on, we're going into some Buccaneers news here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and safety Antoine Winfield Jr. agreed to a 4-year, $84.1 million deal that makes him the highest paid safety in the league.
Nice.
For Antoine Winfield? You guys really think he's that good?
I know
To
the
get
Bucks love him. The Bucks have loved him. I think that he either if correct me if I'm wrong, but he might have got signed to the franchise tag before this. And I think I remember watching like a interview that with the Bucks GM that they were confident in getting a deal done with him, that they really wanted to get a deal done with him. So I think the Bucks were all in for this. I think he's like a really good safety. I mean, he was the one that we'll never forget the meme where he threw the deuce back at Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
But I like the signing for Tampa Bay. It kind of helps that defense. I know they lost a couple of guys, but I kind of like it. What do you think, guys?
yeah, I like it too. I mean, if a guy is willing to challenge Tyreek Hill and throw a deuce right back at him, I'm all for it. No, I'm just kidding. But like, they definitely lost a lot of good players on the defensive side, and so having to, put this guy on a bigger contract where you can have him for a longer period still in his prime too. I mean, I'm all for it. So good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on getting their guy, or not getting their guy, but keeping that core on the safety for them. So,
Yeah.
but moving on from that too, actually, there's this Twitter page. It's called NFL Rumors. They posted that the Steelers have been in contact with garbage Michael Thomas. Sorry, I meant Michael Thomas. Didn't mean garbage.
Slant
Um,
boy?
yeah, man, that guy was good. 1 or 2 seasons with Drew Brees, and then ever since then he couldn't stay healthy. So the Steelers must love signing garbage. I don't know.
Man,
Ever since
they love
Antonio
to
Brown.
they love to sign those fucking like fucking third string wide receivers. That's what they've been doing this whole offseason. They get rid of Deontay Johnson, and then fucking all of a sudden they're
Mhm.
signing these guys that are like third string guys. Like Scotty, what's his name? Scotty Miller. Played with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Fuck, dude. Like he's a fucking
Yeah.
fifth string wide
Yep.
receiver. Like why are we signing him? And then um, fucking, I really don't think this is true by any means. I mean, hey, definitely could be, but fucking hell, man. Why do they got to keep on signing these third
You,
string wide receivers?
You you don't want Michael Thomas?
No,
yeah,
hell no.
you
He's a
Not
hope
Pro
Slant
that's
Boy.
not
Bowler,
true.
dude.
Not Slant Boy. He hasn't done shit in like 3 seasons.
Not a fan of slant play, huh?
Uh, you guys love signing players like that. So I mean, hey, kudos to you guys, bro. Let's give you guys one of these ones.
And to move on from that, we got some Patriots news that I know I'm very excited about. A lot of people might not know, but we extended David Andrews, our center, for at least another year. So his deal, like specifics, are he'll earn a base of $12 million per year. It can get up to 13 million, and he has 8 million of that guaranteed. But what I love more about this is that just we locked down a core guy for yet another year. I think he's the last player to play with Tom Brady on the Patriots. So he's the last guy from that era. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, and he's just been a core locker room guy. A lot of players have said that, like he is the Patriot way now. He's the guy that's in the locker room establishing that culture. So and I know that we've kind of talked about it in the past how important that center position is to the football team in general. So I'm very excited about that. I know Wesley, and Fice, you guys were looking at a center right in the draft for this upcoming year. So makes me feel good to have our center kind of locked down for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I was really looking for the Steelers to get one. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that that they locked down, especially a veteran guy like David Andrews, who's definitely a known, really good veteran that can obviously control that offensive line and be the guy that kind of coaches everybody along. So,
right, that key locker room guy that can
mhm,
be very important in many ways, just like off the field, even compared to on the field. So I'm very
gotcha.
excited about that. Love David Andrews. He's been a big part of the Patriots for so long. So glad to have him on for a little bit. Hope he retires as a Patriot. I know there was a little bit of uh, like controversy, not controversy, but there was just a little bit of story because he hadn't ever really gone through a season like last season. Like even when we had Cam Newton and Mac Jones and stuff, like Mac Jones' first 2 years, it was like 7-9 or 10-7. Like we were winning, but we weren't great. But this last
Yeah.
year, obviously, we were 3-14, and so it's tough for a lot of those veteran guys. But to move on with other Patriots news, and then I'll shut up. Okay, I just wanted to get this out there. All right. But I did see a report because we had talked about it earlier. Jacoby Brissett is the favorite, like the betting favorite, to be quarterback one to start the season, which you guys know and our viewers know that I love. I don't think it's like a surprise, but just kind of like a relief that okay, we're gonna start with Jacoby. That's what we need to do. And a lot of people are freaking out over the fact that Gerard Mayo said that Drake May has a lot to work on, which is funny to me because like I feel like everybody knew that going into the draft. Like he was a raw prospect.
Right.
Like he's not gonna be that guy. He's not Caleb Williams. He's not gonna start day one. And I think that's what we're all prepared for. So I don't really understand this like narrative of, oh boy, Gerard Mayo said he has a lot to work on. Patriots messed up on their pick. I mean, I
Well,
don't know.
that's
Do you
just how.
guys, from an
That's just how
outside
the.
perspective, do you guys see any different?
Yeah, I mean that's just how the media works, though. I mean, Gerard Mayo's a first-year head coach. Never really done this before. He said something that wasn't that the media could skew in a way that created drama. That's all I
Right.
hear when I hear any of that. So, I mean, he's a rookie QB, and I'm in the same boat where I would love a rookie QB to sit behind a veteran, and the last guy to do that and obviously turned out great was Patrick Mahomes. To be able to sit behind a guy that
Jordan Love
knows.
too.
Okay, yeah, Jordan Love too. You're right. You're right. Well, Patrick Mahomes has won a
Yeah,
few Super Bowls since then, but you know. But yeah, I
maybe
think.
a little more successful, but yeah.
But I definitely think that I think that Gerard Mayo may have just chose a few of the wrong words. Media able to twist it, try to create drama around something that there was never drama for. I mean, he's a rookie QB. You know what I mean? Coming into the NFL, that's just how this stuff goes.
And also to add on to that too, you would be worried if he didn't say that he had stuff to work on. He's a rookie quarterback, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like you would be more worried if he didn't say he has stuff to work on. Like everybody, no matter what you're doing, you should have stuff to work on. Like Tom Brady still had stuff to work on, and he is the GOAT. And so I'm like, it just to me, I think it's just fans kind of buying into that media speculations and crap. And so, I mean, I'd rather have somebody who's a rookie quarterback and have things to work on. Dak has something to work on. That's getting through the first round of the playoffs. So, I
well,
mean,
maybe you can bring in a veteran and let him sit behind.
always
actually,
gotta, always gotta bring up the fucking Cowboys somehow.
I just have to every chance I could get just on Dak, man. One of these days, I'm
We
gonna
even
meet
bring them
him in
up.
person and be like,
We even bring them up when you're not even fucking here. Like what? Somehow Dallas
Yeah.
always
that's
makes
the
it.
best
Somehow
part.
Dallas
Like,
always makes it.
that's the best part, dude. One of these days, I'm gonna meet him, and I'm big. I'm your biggest fan of you getting sacked out of this team, bro. Get out of here. So, I mean, I like I said, I'd just be worried if he didn't have things to develop and things to get better at. So these people just need to chill and let the coach do what he's doing. He believes in his player, and there's nothing wrong. We're all a big fan of having your rookie quarterback sit and we'll get behind that veteran quarterback and learn from them.
Yeah.
You will
And I
see
think that's
them.
what I've been saying too is that like I really like this next season. Honestly, I'm not like concerned too much about. It's not like we're trying to make the playoffs. I don't think we're in a position that, let's go win the division. Let's make the playoffs. Like, so why does it matter so much? Like maybe you can get him out in the later part of the season, last few games, let him kind of test out real competition or something. But
Right.
honestly, just let him sit the season, most of the season, just kind of let him develop. So I'm excited about that, and yeah, I just hope that it doesn't come week one and we're like, oh yeah, Drake May's ready to go, and then we go through another 2 3 year process of our quarterback sucking, and then we have to restart from square one again. So,
Yeah.
man, but I'm excited about it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Drake May, but I'm also a big fan of him sitting. So hopefully he sits for the rest of 2024. Yeah, I guess you would call that the 2024 season. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you mean you could still like Jacoby Brissett could still get you to the playoffs, but like you said, you don't really need. It's not like you really need to get there. I mean, it would be nice to have a lower pick again.
Hmm.
and get a like build up that receiver core or whatever else that you need to build on. So, um, but I mean, I'm excited. We're all excited for him. Hopefully, it ends up being a good future where he becomes the next Patrick Mahomes or the next Mac Jones.
You are
Um,
given a wide base of talent there.
yeah, there's no in between buts
You
or
can't
what.
give me anything like he doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes. It's
Nope.
either Patrick Mahomes or Mac Jones.
Yep.
No.
That's exact. It's one or the other. So, other exciting news too. Actually, the NFL released its schedule. Boys,
hmm
get excited.
Yep.
We're kicking off the NFL season with the Chiefs and the Ravens. What a boom start, right?
Yep. The
So,
AFC Championship from last year.
Yeah, fuck the Ravens.
Like
who do
the
you think
Ravens were
takes that
supposed to
one?
be the. What's that? Fuck
Who takes?
the Ravens.
So we're going
Wait,
for the
where's that
Ravens.
Ravens? Do the Ravens caw thing, Feist?
Oh, I don't even have that, but
Oh, you don't? Oh no.
Oh, there you
There
go. I
you
found it.
go.
there you go, Ravens, baby.
Fuck the
Yeah,
Ravens.
Yeah,
I think the
that's a
Ravens
banger
take
to
that one.
start the season for sure.
Anytime he does it. Anyways, and then to continue on that more exciting news, that and the Netflix is joining in on the football world, and that they're getting two Christmas games this year, and one holiday game the next 2 years. So they have a 3 year deal. I forgot what they said it was worth.
Mhm.
But that's freaking exciting. Now Netflix is trying to get a piece of that. I know they did the whole like roast, like life roast. I thought that was really cool that they were able to produce something like that. So them having an NFL game now, that's exciting too. I don't know what are you guys' thoughts on that, but I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean there's so many streaming platforms now that you have to watch to be able to get the games. You know what I mean? Now you
Mhm.
add Netflix into it,
Yeah.
because you got what? You got Peacock, you got Amazon, and then you have, I mean, NFL Network has their own streaming
YouTube.
platform, YouTube to get the ticket.
Sunday
Uh,
ticket.
it's just there's so many different streaming services that you have to buy now to be able to watch games. So maybe we're adding a little too much with Netflix, but maybe that's just my own opinion.
No, I don't think that is your own opinion. That's actually, I was gonna say that's a lot of like uh, kind of pushback on this Netflix thing. I read an article about all the like streaming platforms or cable packages that you'd have to be able to watch games. Like you have to have access to NBC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, Peacock, like you said, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Like, yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on. It's kind of the way, the world's working now, just like streaming services where you got five different ones these days to be able to watch your favorite shows and stuff. It's kind of like what's going on with the NFL, but hopefully you already have a Netflix subscription, so it doesn't matter too much. But like for those people that may not, yeah, that does kind of suck because I know that the Christmas games. I think Wesley, the Steelers are playing on Christmas, right?
Yep. Yes, they are. Yeah, I don't have a Netflix subscription, so we'll see how I figure that one out.
Oh no!
We'll figure something out for you, bud.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
have to invite you over or something to someone who does have it. But moving on, like I think what's kind of fun about this time of the year, the NFL, like we talk about all the time, the NFL finds a way to stay relevant, and this kind of time is the schedule release videos that have become a thing the last few years. And so I just want to kind of talk about a few of them. And my favorite is the Titans. So what the Titans do is they just go on to like I think it's called Broadway Street. It's like their main street or whatever, and they just ask random people to name their like opponents just by giving them the logo. And so there were all kinds of different things. Like they showed the Jets, and some guys like peaked in 1970. And then
Nice.
they showed the Patriots, and this guy goes on a rant like, "Yeah, Tom Brady dominated the Super Bowl for 3-4 years in a row." And then the lady was interviewing that said like, "Yeah, and then what happened?" And he didn't have anything to say. So it's like, what happened was the Patriots, and they always cut to like the da 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 da, like the NFL theme song every time they show the team. So I think they killed it. A couple more I just want to bring up was one was the Detroit Lions, where he's like, yeah, their coach always goes for it on fourth down. He's like me when I play Madden on my phone. And then it was like, dun 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 dun, Madden mobile football team for the Lions. Um, and then one last one was the Vikings and the Commanders. So there was like they were like kind of redneck cowboys, like big countries type of people, you know what I mean? And they were like, the Vikings. It was like the Vikings. They got rid of Kirk Cousins and they shouldn't have. Dun, 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 and that was like the thing. And then like a few more teams go, and then it goes to the Commanders, and it was like got rid of Kirk Cousins and they shouldn't have. Dun, 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 dun. So I really liked that one. And then one more I liked was the Chargers social media. They always freaking do good. They did the Sims this year. They did all kinds of things. I mean, they had Paul Pierce in the wheelchair where he shit himself in the finals. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then they had Aaron Rodgers freaking out about the 5G waves, and then he was carrying like a radioactive baby and stuff. And they had Harrison Butker, who we won't get into too much, but they had him in the kitchen cooking and cleaning in their
That's
release
awesome.
video.
That's
We'll just
awesome.
say that, but yeah, it's always a fun time. I mean, you guys got any kind of? I know all the NFL teams released their videos. So with that being said, did you guys see any fun matchups? Anything you're looking forward to for this season?
Mm. You know, I didn't see any of the videos that the Steelers released, but their fucking season, man. Their season's fucking tough. Which I mean, the NFL usually
Uh
likes to give the
oh.
Steelers a little bit of a tough season, but maybe I Steelers, they always fight, man. There's no way I could go against that winning record that Mike Tomlin has. But I mean, to end the season with the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the Browns, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals. That's whew. That's a
Oh
tough
wow.
stretch of games.
Oh
I I
boy.
think at least we win half of those at least. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you got divisional opponents, so like those could go either way, but the Ravens obviously should be good. We'll see what the Browns are. Obviously, they have a good defense, but are they going to be better or worse with Deshaun Watson in there? We don't know because it seemed
we
like Joe
kill the
Flacco
Browns.
was killing it. But Eagles, Chiefs, and Bengals, oof, that's tough.
Well, the Bengals are a little
And
weak.
that's usually the part of the season you guys do really good.
That's true. I mean, we do usually pick it up right at the end to try to squeak into the playoffs every year with our 9-8 record, Fice. But yeah, no, the Ravens, the Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. I mean, I think we at least win one of the Raven games. I think we kill the Browns both times, and then we might. I mean, I feel like
Wow.
we could. I feel like we. The
Steelers fan coming
Browns are
out
dog shit,
now.
bro. Browns are dog shit, bro. So.
Wow.
They're always dog shit,
The
always at the
dog
bottom.
pound. It's the dog shit.
I think at
Hey,
the
who won
least,
defensive player of the year?
who should have won it?
Oh,
you tell you tell me. You tell me. Hold on. You tell me who should have won it. You tell me who should have won it. No.
Garrett?
Well, if Matthew Judon was healthy, obviously, definitely.
It should have been
Garrett,
Garrett or Micah Parson, baby.
Garrett, can come over and wipe my ass.
Hold on, hold on.
Oh my
uh,
god. Oh my god.
Hey, that's what you get for talking shit on the Browns, bro. Okay.
when did you
Watch
become a
him beat
Browns
him both
fan? Is it
games
like
too,
the
and I'm just
NBA
gonna
when you
laugh
jump
at
or
it,
what?
dude. No, dude. I just love dog
Ooh.
shizzing on Steelers. So defensive player,
Well,
baby.
I don't know. It
Let's
sounds
talk
like a
about
Browns
that.
fan.
Oh man, no, that is
Vice, what about the Cowboys? Let's bring it back to the Cowboys so we
yeah. Let's
stay a
bring them
relevant
back.
program,
No, I
because
mean,
we have to talk about the Cowboys. So, what are
yeah.
you looking forward to?
I loved what they did. They did prank calls, so they had Post Malone. Post Malone's a big fan. A few other Dallas Cowboys legends, and then they also had what's his name, Timmy Tatman. He's a big Call of Duty guy, and they were prank calling celebrities of their opponents that they like,
Hmm.
and so
I
like for
saw
the
that.
Eagles one, they called what's her name from North Carolina, or the head coach, the
Oh, are
um
you talking about Don Staley? South
yeah.
Carolina. South
Yeah,
Carolina.
South Carolina. So she's a big Eagles fan, so they called her for the Eagles one. I liked it. I thought it was a little cheesy and funny, and then they had Jerry Jones' ugly A in there too. But I don't know who I hate more, Jerry Jones or Dak. Actually,
Oh, come on. You
Oh,
can't
you should
hate Dak
know.
that much.
You should know this one.
yeah, you're right. I hate the Jerry Jones family.
Come
Yeah,
on.
you're right.
Don't put,
But
hey, I know you don't like Dak, but don't do that to him,
yeah, you're
okay? He
right.
deserves more than
You're
That's like the
right. You're right.
ultimate
No,
disrespect right there.
I think that I probably hate Jerry Jones more. Huh?
That's the ultimate
Let's just say
disrespect right
this.
there, man.
Jerry
That's fucking
Jones is the
nuts.
Mac Jones. Oh, I just made that connection.
Okay.
Jerry Jones,
Uh huh.
Mac Jones. No wonder that guy's not good at football.
Is that his son?
Probably. Probably is.
Might have to have
God.
a what's it called test done.
Wish we would have figured that out earlier, man.
Anyways, I'm really excited for week 8. We play the 49ers. That's going to be a really good contest.
Ooh.
The 49ers are supposed to be really good again. So I'm excited for that week 8 matchup. And then I'm also excited for week 10 where we face the Eagles. And you know what's funny actually? Those two teams I picked are the teams that I hate the most. So maybe there's a little bit of bitterness towards them, and that's why I want to see our team do really well against them. And then, um, but overall, our schedule wasn't too bad. But those two teams, I'm like, please do anything to just shit on them, so then I can talk shit on everybody else. So yeah, I'm excited for the season. Let's start it today, man. NFL just ends way too soon.
Seriously.
Holy
It
crap!
it does. It feels like it's such a short season. Once you get to the off season, it's like where the hell is the NFL? But
Yep.
I don't know. I, as a Patriots fan, I'm looking to several very key, awesome, exciting matchups. No, like I said, I feel like I'm not like throwing this season away, but I'm like just whatever happens happens. But I did see a like week 10, the Patriots are at the Bears, so that's late enough in the season that I feel like Drake May could be starting by that point. So it could be a Drake May versus Caleb Williams showdown. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Drake should play at all this season, but it could happen. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I don't think Drake should play this year against Caleb Williams. I think maybe that's a next year matchup. I think Drake May should be sitting on the bench this whole season, and maybe you guys can get a good draft pick or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. Finally, someone agrees with me. Okay, Drake May sit this season. Okay, But let's move on from that. All right. So just to finish out some more NFL news, Wesley, I know me and you were talking about that roast last week. Boy, what a roast! Feist, did you catch any of that yet?
I did. I did. I thought it was really good.
The greatest roast of all time, or what do you think?
I mean, yes. You know who I really liked was Nikki. She was
Kevin Hart,
amazing.
probably.
No, Nikki was amazing. Kevin Hart, I would say, but he's the goat of comedy. But Nikki was
Nikki
amazing,
Glazer,
dude.
yeah. I don't know if you happened to watch our episode last week, Feist, but hopefully you're a fan. But no, I was actually talking to like our group chat, and I've never really been a fan of Nikki Glazer, so
Yeah,
I like sent all these videos. I was like, this bitch ain't funny. Like, this is stupid. And then all the boys coming back at me like, yeah, Kyle, she actually is like really funny. She's
yeah.
killing it. And then I watched it back and I was like, okay, yeah, I was just hating. I was just hating. She was really good.
It was hilarious. I loved
Yeah.
it.
But a guy who maybe didn't love the roast, Mr. Tom Brady himself, I guess. He came out and said that he regrets doing it because of the way it affected his kids, the way it affected his family, and he wasn't a fan of the jokes about his family. He was a fan, like he liked when it was about him, but not his family. Um, which I mean, I thought they stayed away from his kids because a lot of people give shit. I've heard a lot of it of Tom Brady kissing his kids or whatever on the lips and
Yeah,
stuff, but I didn't see any of those jokes in the roast. And I don't know. I think that like I've heard other people talk about it because now that Tom Brady did it, it's like should Michael Jordan do it? Should Tiger Woods do it? And everybody's saying like, nah, they'll never do it. So it was a big risk for Tom Brady to do it.
right.
And I don't know how I feel about him saying he regrets doing it because like honestly, it was really good. I really don't think there was anything that crazy about like him personally or his family.
Well, I mean, they attacked Giselle a lot. Um, and there might have been
His
jokes.
ex-wife, whoop-de fucking do.
There might have been that cheated on him. That did cheat on him. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I mean, there was what I remember is that, and I watched it twice now. Um, the Giselle jokes kind of would leak into the with his kids is kind of what I
Okay.
picked up from it. Like, they would crack a joke about how it's Giselle cheating on him, and now all of a sudden, like he's got it's some joke about a broken family type of thing now, and so that I think that's kind of like where, or they would make jokes about how a jujitsu guy is now raising his kids or something like, or something stupid like that, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I thought it was a good roast. I don't think they attacked his kids very much. Like I said, there might have been a couple of jokes in there that attacked his kids, but anything about his family was mainly pointed at Giselle. So,
Yep. She deserves it too. So, I mean, everything. I literally think everything anybody said was Giselle and that Pilates guy. So, and she came out actually and
Jiu-jitsu
just said,
guy. Jiu-jitsu guy.
"Oh, so
jujitsu.
yeah, it's the same thing. Freaking weak asses."
Remember, Feist, he could kick Tom Brady's ass while eating hers. That was the deal.
Oh, there you go. Hold on. There you go, my guy. No, but
Imagine cheating on Tom Brady, dude.
dude, the guy has
Dude,
a freaking face of
if
it.
you're Tom fucking Brady,
Uh huh.
and you still can't keep these hoes off the street or whatever you want to say, like, what else does it take?
Hey,
That's another
Giselle,
conversation for another podcast.
Giselle made more money than
No,
he did. You
I
know what
thought
I
it was
mean?
really funny, dude. She definitely makes more money than him, so maybe that's the issue. It's when they make more money than you. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously though, I thought it was funny. I think Kevin Hart did really well hosting it. He was hilarious, and then everybody coming out at him. Sam was hilarious, and then I
Sam
forgot that
J?
guy. Yeah, Sam J was
Yes.
hilarious.
What
And
did she
then
say? Her joke was like to Drew Bledsoe's like your your Super Bowl ring is about as real as my dildo
yeah,
or something.
and then Kevin
I
Hart goes,
fucking
"I hope your
died, dude.
dildo's I hope your dildo's not white or something." Anyway, it's just hilarious. Some freaking
I
crazy
don't get it. Explain.
funny things. um,
Anyways,
but hey, good for Tom Brady. He took a risk. I hope that more athletes follow him. But that's what the risk is a lot of times people will shit on everything you did and try to figure out jokes with it. So jokes are meant to be funny. Don't take it serious, Giselle.
speaking of jokes, let's talk about the Cowboys franchise. Wesley, I know you saw a little bit report about them.
Yeah. Hey, once again, talking about the Cowboys on the fucking podcast. But Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy stated in a press conference last week talking about having Zeke back. He's an old school guy. He'll go up and smack a 60-year-old man in the ass and it hurts. It's those kind of things that you just enjoy him. Not that enjoying getting smacked, not that I enjoy getting smacked in the ass.
Wait. Ow! What in the
What?
world?
I couldn't even get through that quote. I'm sorry, Wesley, but what the fuck is Mike McCarthy talking about? Oh my gosh. Feist, that's your head coach. I mean, I know you were excited about Zeke, but I don't think I ever heard you say anything like that.
Yeah, I never said smack me in the ass. That's kind of weird. So, and hey, just so you know, my list goes Jerry Jones, Dak, Mike McCarthy, sack,
Oh,
all three of them.
all three?
Yep. So I don't know what that was about, but that is a good little joke to. I'm gonna say that the whole entire season. Not that I enjoy getting my ass smacked.
He'll go up and smack a 60-year-old man
Steve.
in the ass, and it hurts, you know? Like, you enjoy it, but you don't. You don't. It's so weird.
That is
Oh,
hilarious.
good old, good. Gotta love the Cowboys, right?
We gotta find ways to make headlines. That's what the thing is, man.
Well, let's wrap up the NFL because we got to get on. But a little bit of an interesting thing. So obviously, I think everybody knows Tom Brady was taking the number one role at Fox this year. I think that what wasn't known was what was Greg Olson going to do. Because I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought Greg Olson was doing a really good job the last few years in that number one Fox role. But he's going to go to number two. He's going to stay at Fox. He's going to take the second. I don't know what you call it, like crew game or whatever, like so the second most popular game on Fox,
Yeah.
and he's going to take a pay cut from $10 million to $3 million.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I might like Greg Olson on NBC instead of fucking Chris Collinsworth or whatever. Like, I think Greg did a really great job. He deserves a number one spot somewhere.
Yeah, I was very surprised that what when I heard about that report because I actually did like Greg Olson too. Um, but maybe he just has a loyalty thing. He wants to be loyal to Fox and that's a huge pay cut. I mean, 3 million, I'll take that any day of the week. But that's $7 million that you're losing out because you don't want to contest for somebody else. I mean, yeah, give it to Tom Brady. He's probably gonna be a great analyzer or whatever, however you say that. But like, come on, man, fight for it.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
you want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, obviously, when you have a name like Tom Brady, you're gonna get that spot, and I think a lot of people are expecting Tom Brady to be what Tony Romo was
Yep.
when he stepped in, if not better. But Greg just had a really good attitude and really good mindset. I think he was just like built for the job, and I love Greg Olson just as like a person. I feel like and just seeing
Yep.
everything that he does. So it
Yeah.
was really cool, like to see him stick with it, but I don't know. I just feel like he deserves more. Like I don't feel like he didn't fuck up to the point where he deserved a demotion. You know what I mean? But it's
Right.
Tom Brady coming in, so I don't know. I That's really good. Like I guess I don't know what the word is. Like it's just good of him to stay on Fox, and
Yeah.
maybe it was just his contract or whatever. But I feel like he deserves to be a number one guy at least somewhere.
Right.
So yeah,
Well,
but
we'll have to
let's
see.
move on. I know you had a little bit of Miami Dolphins news.
Yes. So Miami came out and they mentioned that they haven't gotten a deal done with uh, Tonga Vailoa. And they're looking to get a deal done, but the biggest thing is they're trying to do it in bonuses, so there's not a bunch of money that's guaranteed. And the reason why they're doing this is because
Wait, do you mind if I interrupt real quick?
yeah,
Are you saying that so his new deal they want more of it to be like incentive based, like bonuses and stuff, so they're not going to give him as much guaranteed money?
yes,
Okay.
correct.
That's what
So
Miami wants to do?
yeah, because they're worried about his injuries, so they want an assurance. So like
Uh,
some of the bonuses that they've mentioned is a signing bonus, a workout bonus, a per game roster bonus. And so it just sounds like it's gonna be uh they're gonna be battling back and forth to get a deal done, but I also understand why Miami's doing it, with his injuries as he's had with the concussions. But he played all games last season, right? And so
I think so, yeah.
I don't think he missed any game last season. So if he's healthy, that dude's dangerous. And now they just added Odell Beckham. I know. Wes is like Odell's done for. I know you say he's done for, but him being that third option, dude, and not having to worry about the
As a
number
third
one.
option, I would love Odell. I
Yeah,
will say that. As a
and I think
third
he's gonna
option.
thrive with that high power offense that they
How many
have.
yards
Where
do you think he gets
how many
next
yards?
season? Yeah.
I think he gets at least 700 yards.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
'Cause,
he
I
does.
mean, Tyreek Hill, what? He almost had 2,000. Jalen Waddle's got to be 1,000 yard guy. So
Yep.
that's at least 20, or that's 3,000 ish of Tua's yards. So
Yeah,
I could see six, 700 from Odell.
yeah. I think that, and it helps him not having that number one or two guy on him, having that third option
Right.
on him. I mean, I think he's still very agile. He still can make those freaking highlight reel catches, and so, and they have
I
so
don't know,
many things.
Fice. Do you,
Shut up!
I mean, did you see that in Baltimore
Shut up!
last year?
Shut up! Let him breathe, bro.
No, no, I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm
Okay,
not
but
trying to be a dick here.
Baltimore.
But did you see that in Baltimore?
No, because the thing is like even Wesley said this before. Lamar Jackson is not a a passing quarterback. So I don't think
Okay.
it really matters who would have been on that team. I think they still would have had. I think he always looks to Mark Andrews, and then who was that young rookie quarter?
Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, he kind of came off a little bit, but like it was hard because Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. Don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback, but it's almost like as soon as he feels the pocket collapse, he's out of there. He makes highlight moves that like no quarterback can do, and so I think it was a little bit harder. I can't really compare it to when he played for the Ravens. I can compare it to when he played for the Rams because that Matthew Stafford could actually like stay in the pocket and throw. It wasn't his first,
You're
second,
you're just feeding into Wesley's argument here about Lamar, though. Like
but
that's the thing.
it is. I mean, it's hard though because Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback. But when I'm looking at Odell, he needs a quarterback that can stay in the pocket and throw, and he can make a play for you, and that's what he's gonna do. I feel like now that
So,
he's
do you
the third
think Odell
option,
just doesn't fit in that system? Is that kind of what you're saying? Like the
The
Lamar
Ravens,
system, the
yeah,
Ravens system? Yeah.
yeah. I don't think
Do
I
you
don't
think he
even know
fits
why
in
he signed him.
Miami then? Because I
Yeah,
know like Tua can move, but he's obviously not Lamar.
right.
He's going to
Tua
be
can
that
also
short,
throw.
quick throw.
Yes, that's the thing. Tua can throw on the run. So it's not
Yeah.
like his first option, or I mean, not first option, but his second option isn't just to take off and run. He actually is still looking down the field because Tyreek Hill will get open and burn somebody, and then they'll end up getting a deep throw. Or same thing with Waddle, and so I think he fits better definitely with the Miami Dolphins versus the Ravens. The Ravens, I never really understood that signing. And you know me, I'm a big, even though he did that thing to Dallas, I'm still a big Odell fan. I've always loved Odell. I loved him when what's his name? Travis Landry?
Jarvis Landry,
Yeah, Travis Landry. Yeah, him and when they were tag teaming,
LSU.
yeah, LSU. And so I mean, he's just a good player, and I think him being a third option is going to be so much better for him, and he's going to 6, 7, maybe 800 yard season. I don't know how many touchdowns.
Hey, take it off. Hey, don't get too
Yeah.
excited. Anyways, that's the NFL for this week. Gosh, I know I say it every single time, but the NFL finds a way to keep us talking about it, and that's why we
Yep.
love the sports. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to get into the NBA playoffs. So we'll check you guys in a second. All right, boys, let's move on to some NBA news. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, we got some news. We'll just jump right into it here, all right?
All right.
We got Mike Budenholzer, who won the title with the Bucks in 2021. And then he got fired a year ago, okay? Agrees to a 5-year contract to become the next head coach of the Phoenix Suns.
Hey, okay, there we go. That's funny
Hey,
because he beat the Phoenix Suns in the 2021 NBA in the finals. Oh, Feist, I know you're a big Giannis fan, and so like we've kind of followed like the Bucks and stuff. I never understood why the hell he got fired from the Bucks in the first place.
Right. Yeah, I mean the big issue was obviously they were the first seed, right? We talked about this earlier. They were the first seed, and then they got beat by Jimmy Buckets and the Miami Heat. And as always, Wesley said, Jimmy's a different animal when it comes to the playoffs. So, I mean, that should have not been a reason for him to lose his job, especially winning the championship the year before. Um, and you come in and you give it to the assistant coach, right? And then from the assistant coach, he was winning, and then you fire him again, and you put the greatest losing coach of all time, Doc Rivers, baby. So I don't know what
Oh,
they're
and
doing,
then what
man.
happened? Did they had great playoff
Oh,
success this year,
they
obviously,
got
right?
Damian Leonard, right?
Uh-huh.
Same time. And then they ended up losing a bunch of games, getting into the playoffs. Like I think they were the fourth. What were they? The
They were the
third
third seed.
third seed, yeah. And then
And
they
then
end up
somebody
losing.
like the Pacers 1 and 6 that like
Yeah, I mean, okay, given it that
somebody picked.
Giannis, okay,
Oh.
but Giannis, if Giannis was playing, that would have been a different series. um,
Give me the
but
applause, Feist, because I got that pick right.
why
he
would you give
deserves
him the
it, man.
applause? Why would you just do what he
I thought
asked?
he was gonna give me the crows, but he did give me
I know. Why would you just give him what he
the
asked? Like, what the fuck
Hey,
is that, Feist?
he deserves it, man. That guy did
I
put
didn't get what
the
I
team.
asked. I didn't get what I asked.
There you go,
There
buddy.
you go.
Oh, there we
There
go.
you
You
go.
gotta make up for it. Gotta make up for it.
Anyway, to get back on the subject though, like I don't understand what the Bucks are doing, but this is a great thing for Phoenix because I knew Mike, what was his name? Mike Vogel?
Budenholzer.
No, who the Sims had before.
Who?
Who's their
Oh,
head
their
coach?
coach, Frank
Yeah.
Vogel.
Frank Vogel. There, sorry. He's trash, dude. That dude should not be a freaking NBA coach. And so Mike is gonna do some great things. And I know Kevin Durant wasn't too happy about him. A lot of the players weren't too happy about him. So having Mike come in, I think they're all super excited for him. And he knows what it takes to win a championship. And now this is going to be a great turnaround for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, I agree. Um, and that's the thing is like why did he even get fired? Like Mike Budenholzer has a great track record, and
Right.
he's really not failed. I mean, I know what, in 2022 or whatever, 2023, they were the 1 seed. They lost to Miami, but Miami made it all the way to the finals.
Yep.
So, like, I don't understand what the big deal was and why you fire him that quick, but I like it for Phoenix, and obviously they need the help because that team was like all superstars and no role players last year, and that's why I think they got swept 4-0 in the first round. I know
Yeah.
Minnesota's good, but they're not. Phoenix with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. You're telling me that team can't win one game? That's poor coaching, and I think Mike Budenholzer is going to help
Amen.
fix that gap.
Amen. I couldn't agree with you more on that. That's for sure. I think, well, you had Booker dropping like 50 points. You had Durant dropping like 30. So, I mean, I don't know how you lose that. I love the way you put it. That's just bad coaching. So,
Yeah,
good for
I'd
them.
have to agree. Well, Feist, you are a Lakers, or not a Lakers, you're a Cowboys fan, but you're also a LeBron fan. And that's obviously the only two topics that matter in sports media. So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about LeBron.
Yes.
Now, obviously, what I predicted happened, and they got freaking demolished by the Nuggets. Everybody knew that, except for, I guess, Feist. I mean, a little bit of belief, I don't know, there, but Feist, let me
Hurts. It hurts, boys.
let me try to give you some
Lakers
hope.
in 7.
Okay. um, obviously, LeBron's gonna opt out of his contract this season. He has a
Right.
player option, which is like he has like a player option for like 50 million or almost 50 million, which
Right.
is just insane. Like, imagine being in the position where you can be like $50 million. Nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah, I'm good. But LeBron is that guy, obviously. So he's gonna do that. And I don't know. We're hearing these reports. I hear that he wants some flexibility to be able to play with Bronny, his son. But that's not at the top of his list, is what
Right.
I'm hearing. Is that it's? I know he said that earlier, but he is probably going to stay in LA. I feel like his roots are in LA. Now he's got so many businesses and companies going on that he'll probably stay in LA to finish his career, which I kind of like don't like. I don't know how you feel because I know Feist. We both are LeBron guys as far as the GOAT, but I know you're a really big LeBron guy. But I'm not liking how he's finishing his career in LA to kind of like for business reasons when you're so close to Michael Jordan, the argument with the 6 rings. I don't know. Do you think he should stay in LA? Is that the best place for him? And should Bronny join him there?
Yeah. I mean, they were talking about this a while ago, and they were mentioning how the Lakers could offer him actually a 2 year, 150, 100 something, 150, 150 plus contract, which
For
sounds in
two
2
years?
years. I think it was 2 or 3 years, which the third year
I
was like
hope
a
it's
player
three
option.
years.
Yeah. So I mean, they're trying to do whatever they can to try to keep him. They've also mentioned that they would think about drafting Bronny with their second round pick, not necessarily
Hmm.
their first round pick. And then there were some rumors that they're looking to move Austin Reeves and to get more draft capital from him, and they were mentioning that he's worth at least a first round pick. And so I feel like they're trying to do whatever they can to keep him to stay at the Lakers. Now, do I think that that's his best option? I don't think so. I would like to see him go chase the rings and actually kind of go. It sounds kind of lame, but like to team up with a superstar, like let's say for example the Warriors, right? The Warriors dynasties come to an end, unfortunately. Um, and for him and maybe Steph Curry to team up, and then you draft Bronny over there. There was a report that came in today that actually mentioned saying that LeBron, just because you draft Bronny doesn't mean you're gonna get LeBron. The report today said that LeBron won't sign with the team that his son gets drafted by. Now,
What?
yeah, this has been nuts. It's been back and forth. Like the rumors have been coming in back and forth. Oh, he won't sign with the team that his son's drafting. oh, actually, there's a package between the both of them. And then also, I saw an interview. They interviewed Bronny, and he was like, "Oh, does my dream hasn't always been to play with my father. My dream's always been to be in the NBA. Good for you, but come on, that's some BS, bro. You know you would like to play with your father, and having the name Bronny James, that means something. These people are looking at it as you can possibly get LeBron James with it. So I, it's just I don't know, man. I really don't know where else could he go. The Warriors, the Heat, the Cavs. People are saying that he should go back to the Cavs too. That young team, he could definitely do some damage with. They all are shooters, which LeBron always needs shooters all around him, and so yeah, I mean reports are in and out every day. So yeah,
Yeah. I would throw a little different perspective in there on as far as Bronny. I think I like his mindset. Now, when you're LeBron James' son, you're
hmm,
going to get a certain amount of expectation placed
yep,
upon you. And I know we've talked about where we don't think he should have entered the draft this year. And
yeah,
I honestly still think that's the truth. Like, what's wrong with giving you one more year to be able to, hone your skills in and whatnot? But I think that it is good for him to have a, like, hey, I just want to make an NBA roster. I just want to do my thing and separate it from LeBron. That's where I kind of like don't like when LeBron said he wanted to play with his son. I don't remember what year that was. He was still in high school, but I feel like that's an
yeah.
unfair expectation to place upon your child when you're, obviously me and you like greatest of all time.
Right.
Like it's kind of unfair.
Well, let me ask you guys this. So we all knew the hype that came around the Ball brothers. Who
Oh,
do you think had who do you think is going to have a bigger expectation? Because I feel like the Ball brothers had a lot of hate to ride on their expectation into the NBA.
Yeah.
Um, and now Bronny's obviously got the legacy of LeBron James, and his, um, into coming into the NBA. So, I mean, which one do you guys think has the higher expectation to be able to play good?
I personally would say Bronny because LeBron James is arguably the greatest of all time. Yeah, give and take, people will go MJ. You go MJ, LeBron's still second, So I think that itself, that name has a big expectation to it. I've always been the one to say I didn't think that Bronny would be the one to carry the torch. I've said this many times to people. I think Bryce is going to be the one to carry the torch. He's better overall. And he may not be built like his dad. He's built more like actually Kevin Durant. And so he seems like a better overall player, and I think he'll be the one to carry the torch. But Bronny being the first to do it after his dad, man, I can't even imagine. And I guess I went a little overboard by saying, yeah, bull crap, you don't want to play with your dad. But good for him to say he wants to do things on his own, like you said, Kyle. But this is gonna be a tough road for him, dude. People are gonna have high expectations for him. You'll get into some of his like measurements, some of the things that he's done so far, but it's like you're LeBron James' son. You don't have a choice anymore. If you wanted a choice, go play. Uh, don't do sports like MJ's kids did, or go play baseball, or go play soccer. Something that like he's not doing because there's that
Yeah.
expectation. So
Yeah, I think that a lot of people who've been really paying attention can realize what Bryce's potential is. Like, I think Bryce is already taller than
Bronny,
Bronny,
yeah,
and he's got a different kind of skill set, and that's a lot of like not trash talk, but just negatives on Bronny as his
yep.
size coming into the draft. Um, and I don't know. I think he might get drafted, and you just got to worry about like, is he just getting drafted for LeBron like we talked about? But I don't know, but let's just get into his combine stats. Let's look at what we have. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so he did finish second in 3-point shooting at the combine in the 3-point shooting drill. He went 19 for 25 with 12 straight makes. And so, yeah, there was only Alex Carberon was above him, and then a couple of other like stats about him. He did have a 40.5-inch vertical, but he was listed at 6'1.5" after being listed at 6'4" at USC. So that's kind of like a big thing, that NBA scouts are looking at. Oh, 6'1" versus 6'4". Not many 6'4" guards who average 5 points per game get drafted.
Yeah, and they mentioned that big time with all the scouts. They're like he's not tall enough to be a point guard, and they're also talking about his passing actually that he's not he has the same amount of skill level of passing as his dad because his dad's not an ultimate like pass first kind of guy, and he's also not a scorer. Um, but the thing that they were mentioning on that too is like he's also not a good 3 point consistent shooter when it's in game, so he can't even play the two either. And so there's just been
Yeah,
a
I did
lot of
hear that. Like he's like a positional what's the fucking word?
Anomaly.
Anomaly. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
like there's nowhere he doesn't belong anywhere. He's
right,
not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. Is that what you're kind of
yeah.
saying, Feist?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And so, like, to go off of that too, his games. So his first game, his first scrimmage game, he had. This is where I was kind of like, maybe he should stay in college. He had 4 points and 4 rebounds in 19 minutes. Everybody was looking at that scrimmage game like, oh man, this is not what we thought we were gonna see. Thankfully, his second day, he had 13 points and 2 assists and 23 points, and I believe he led his team in scoring. And so that kind of gave him, and when they were talking about it too, about him, they were saying how he had more confidence, he was letting the ball fly. He felt very natural at the position, and he was able to do more with off ball movement and stuff. So I mean, it seems like he has the skills, he has the talent, he has the drive for it. There's just so much pressure on the guy, dude. I'm with you. I think he stays one more year, get that college
You
level.
think he does or he should?
He should. He
Do you
should.
think he does?
No, I
No,
don't think that if he gets the opportunity to go play in the NBA, he'll do it.
even as a
But
late second round pick.
yeah,
Well, I think that with that though, it's kind of him taking the advantage of it's the lottery ticket if a team is able to sign LeBron. You know what I mean? That's kind of like
Yeah,
him going into the draft is a team taking a chance for them to get LeBron, which
yeah,
sucks. You'd want to try to make it based off of your playing
talent,
ability,
your ability. Yeah,
but and that's I think at this point in his career with this draft this year, I think it's more so just if a team picks him up in the draft, then they're looking to sign LeBron at the same time.
speaking of a team thinking about picking him up, good old Utah Jazz, there was a report that they expressed interest in picking him up at number 32, which I'll say, if we get LeBron, I don't give a shit. Pick him at 32.
amen,
I mean, like, as far as the
amen.
NBA draft goes, like, yeah, we get lucky, sometimes. Like, I don't know, we drafted Dante Exum at number 5, and then we drafted Rudy Gobert at number 27. We drafted Donovan at 13. We drafted Alec Burks at 10. Like anything can happen in the NBA draft. And so I would take Bronny if it meant getting LeBron and hopefully creating some, like interest in Utah, but
Do you
But
do
that's
that
you
is
that
a
think
lot higher than I've seen him going.
do you
that's that
think
lottery ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
do you think LeBron would come to a small market like the Utah?
The only reason I think he would come here.
Also, one more thing. Do you think his friendship with Dwayne Wade has something to do with it a little
Ooh,
bit?
now you're talking. Now
Huh?
you're talking.
Huh?
I like that. I
Those
like it.
two things, like you got to consider because he's
What
really,
if we
really
bring
good
Dwayne
friends.
Wade out of retirement and
No,
put him
Now
on the
you're just
Bulls?
talking out of
no.
your ass, bro. Let's just not. Yeah. Now
And
you
that's
just
coming.
lost
And
me.
that's
Let's
coming from a
recreate
Dallas
the
Cowboys
photo.
fan.
Okay, let's recreate the photo, but in jazz uniforms.
Oh, how about this? Actually, he brings Dwayne Wade back. Dwayne Wade's son signs with the Utah Jazz. The two sons, the two fathers.
Oh.
All you need is
That's almost a
Giraffe, Chris Bosh.
75.
There we go.
No, but like
Yeah,
all seriousness, what do you think on that? Like, do you think that his relationship with Dwayne Wade would have some effect to it, and then also would he come to a small market like the Utah Jazz?
honestly, I hadn't thought about that. I'm glad that you brought that up because I it has been a really like big thing for Utah to have Dwayne Wade as a minority owner. It's really brought a lot to the state and the program in general. And yeah, obviously having that LeBron connection would be good. And yeah, I mean LeBron, you're not going to win another title anyways. So just come to Utah, help the program out for a bit, help your son out for a bit, and we'll treat your son right. Like we'll try to help him out.
Can you
I'm here for
imagine?
it.
Can you
I'm here
imagine
for
how
it.
much hate like the two players I feel like they're hated the most in Utah is Russell Westbrook, at least in my opinion, Russell Westbrook and LeBron James.
No,
And
not LeBron. Draymond Green. Come on.
oh, I
Draymond
guess
Green's more than
like in my
LeBron.
this is I guess my opinion though
Luca.
because LeBron
Luca's
never
hated
plays
more
when he
than
comes to
LeBron.
Utah. First off, how many times have we tried to go to his games
He
when
never
he played
plays.
Utah? Huh?
And he never plays.
And he never plays. I
I
mean,
don't think he's hated. There's a lot more players. There's a
okay,
lot
maybe
more
he's
players
not
that hate him.
hated, but like, it just would be a funny, what do you say, like scenario where everybody is usually like against LeBron, rooting against LeBron, and Utah's a very loyal fan base. So I think that would be so cool to see him come to Utah and help the program out, help his son out. And what a better way to do it than a team that's struggling that like they still are trying to find their identity. Yes,
Hey,
struggling.
what do you mean?
And they have a lot of draft capital too. So I mean, hey man, anything could happen. I'm all for LeBron coming to Utah. That just means more games I could go watch. More tickets
There
being
we go.
expensive, but still, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, it would be cool to see LeBron come to Utah, but let's move on from the LeBron talk for now. Okay, I know Feist, you love talking about him. It's all you ever talk about every fucking podcast, but we'll move
Wait,
on
can
from.
we no LeBron talk and no Cowboys talk for the rest of the podcast?
I don't know
Maybe.
if you guys would keep me on here then. I don't know if
What
I
you
think you
got,
guys.
Wes? What you got for us?
Okay, so moving on from that, kind of looking a little bit ahead into the off season. Stars like Donovan Mitchell and Trey Young are rumored to be maybe traded this offseason. What do you guys think about that?
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, I could see that. I know Donovan's up for an extension. Like he has one more year, I think, on his contract, and there have been reports back and forth, like of Donovan not being happy with the maturity level on the Cavs, but then I did see him retweet that same post and say like, "Man, y'all will say anything" or something like that. But I don't know what would Donovan want to do because I think he has proven himself to be a superstar in this league,
Oh,
and there's a lot of teams that could go after him. Speaking of, Feist, Wesley, let me throw this out to you. What if Donovan Mitchell gets traded to the Lakers?
uh-oh.
What about
Ooh.
Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis? Now, I think what like I've talked to you guys a lot about is that LeBron needs that scoring kind of guard, and then he just needs 3-and-D guys. Like,
Yep.
other than that. So you can give Donovan the ball when you need him to score a bucket, because LeBron's a pass first guy that can still score, obviously, and then you got AD as your big guy. So before I get too excited, because I think Donovan to the Lakers makes the most sense. But Brian Windhorst did report that there's several teams interested in him, being the Lakers, the Miami Heat, or the Brooklyn Nets, are offering up significant trade packages for him.
No
I
Knicks.
like the Lakers. I think that makes the most sense to me. They have some draft picks that they can trade for him. What do you guys think?
Wait. There was no Knicks involved in that either.
I did not hear that in that report. I know that's where he's from
Wow.
and everything. That was the Jazz thing, like the rumors when
Yeah.
he was on the Jazz, he was going to go to the Knicks. But yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, just LeBron with high talent guards, right? I mean, like what happened with Kyrie. You know what I mean?
title. What happened with Dwayne Wade? Two titles.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true. I'm just saying that, like, because LeBron dominates the ball, and we all know that, and there's nothing against that because he's one of the greatest players to
Well,
ever
please
play.
don't compare Russell Westbrook to Kyrie Irving or Dwayne Wade, Wesley. It's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook destroys them all day.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook's too good. Okay, he just doesn't fit right.
I
Isn't that right,
just, what
Fox?
I would just hate because Donovan Mitchell has been the guy on every team that he's played for so far.
Yeah,
And then to go to a team that's dominated by LeBron, like I mean, I think it'd be cool, but I mean, how would that mesh? You know what I mean? It's kind of like Russell Westbrook wanting to be a dominant player like he was in OKC and then tried to go mesh with LeBron and that didn't work out. You know what I mean? So
but I
and
think
I
what
don't,
you
and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Donovan Mitchell has the same attitude or plays the same or anything like Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook
mhm.
is his own person, own guy. You know what I mean? But I just worry about that. I think it'd be cool to see Donovan play with LeBron, but I worry about them being able to play together.
Well, let me ask you this: so, do you like of those three teams, or give me another team? What would you like to see him on? What team would you like to see him on next year? Stay in Cleveland? Go to one of those three teams or a different team?
Honestly, we'll go through the list. I don't think I would want him to stay in Cleveland. I love Donovan. And I just feel like Cleveland's holding him back because
Hmm.
he's the only guy there,
Mm.
really. And then obviously I just spoke about the Lakers. I don't know how they're going to be able to be compatible with how he's going to be compatible with LeBron. And then the Heat. I could see the Heat happening. I could see it happening. Him going over there with Jimmy Buckets, and I could see that being a pretty good dominant team there in the Miami. And then Brooklyn. I don't know. I mean,
It's almost that Cleveland situation, right? Like
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
yeah.
the main guy again.
I would almost
With
say out
who?
of those teams, I would say I'd like to see him go to the Heat the most.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. My thing about that is, though, I think Donovan is good in the catch and shoot role. Like, I think he's been very good, like with Mike Conley and Joe Ingles and stuff. He could play off ball. Like, Donovan has a good off ball ability, almost similar to Klay Thompson, right? So I think that's where he would be good with LeBron. Where LeBron can still be the point guard because that's what Donovan is. Donovan's a shooting guard.
Yeah,
And you can give him, you can give him the ISO, but Donovan can also play off ball. So that's why I like him as the two guard. And then with the Lakers, I wonder how does Tyler Hero, factor into that situation, or is Tyler Hero a part of that trade package for Donovan Mitchell? Like
yeah,
you're gonna have to give up something to get Donovan Mitchell, right? And I would
yeah.
assume not Jimmy Butler. So I can see Jimmy Butler and Donovan working together.
Yeah,
What about you, Feist? What do you
I
think?
would say honestly, I think the two teams that I would say that makes the most sense is the Lakers and the Heat. First, the Heat, you would have to give up Tyler Hero. You would have to give up a young player plus some draft stock to get Donovan Mitchell. It's not going to be an easy trade where you're going to be able to move on right away from it. And I like him being with Jimmy Butler just because they both are very similar play styles, and they're both scorers, and so that could work really well because you've seen what Luca and Kyrie are able to do. They're both really good ball handlers. They can shoot the three. They're both scorers, and that's working really well. And we'll get to that later on. Now, as far as the Lakers, I would like to see him actually more on the Lakers, just because I feel like that's what LeBron is lacking is that score that he needs. So then he doesn't have to be the one dropping 25, 30 points. The dude's like 50 million years old, and so it's not like he can
Yeah.
consistently give that to you. And then Anthony Davis,
Imagine.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
Feist, continue. No?
No,
I was just
go
going to
ahead.
say, imagine LeBron being the third option,
Yeah,
like offensive option. That's what I think Donovan would bring. You could have Donovan and AD be your offensive scorers, and
right.
you could let LeBron just kind of go into that pass first role, be that point guard, distribute, but still do what LeBron can do. I feel like that would be good for him.
And LeBron's still going to give you 20, 25 points a game,
Yeah,
regardless of what's going on. 6, 7 rebounds, assists. So, and imagine what that pick and roll could do for Anthony Davis and Donovan, because it just didn't work with Rudy because Rudy couldn't shoot the three, but
yeah.
Anthony can
There
shoot
was
the
no
three.
pick and pop. It was only pick
Yeah,
and roll.
and it was just literally just pick and roll all the time, which it can work if you make it work. But like you look at teams like Jamal Murray and Jokic, what they're able to do is because Jokic can move with the ball and he can shoot the ball, and I feel like that's what Anthony Davis would give Donovan Mitchell, and I actually like that. I don't know if that would work just because of they would have to give up a lot of young players, which they can't afford. That's the other issue the Lakers have is they have three or two guys that are good, and then everybody else sucks. So are
Yeah,
you going to give up all these younger guys in draft capital and have this team that is like super good for a year or two? Then what happens to your future? You don't have
like the
anything.
Suns, right? Like what the Suns did. You
Yep.
get all these superstars, but what are the other guys?
You don't have role players. You have role players at Denver. You have role players at the Pacers. All these teams are thriving because they have their superstars, but then they have really good role players, and that's what you need. So, and like you said before, all those players that LeBron has played with, he's helped elevate their game. Dwayne Wade helped him elevate his game. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie has the confidence of nobody because of what LeBron was able to do for him. Now, Kyrie was a good player, don't get me wrong, but the way that LeBron trusted him and helped him build up his game has done tremendously great things for him. And so I feel like it would still be an opportunity for him to like gain something big from it, but I'm just worried that they wouldn't have the draft stock or the players to trade for him. So, and then Brooklyn Nets just doesn't make sense. Brooklyn Nets suck. So that's why I was kind of confused when I was like Brooklyn. I thought he would have been the Knicks because the Knicks have been so adamant and trying to get him, so consistent about, hey, we want him, but it just never worked. So
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's just rumors. I think the Lakers makes the most sense, but I think the team that can make it happen is Miami Heat. So we'll have
Okay.
to see how um the rest of the playoffs go, and
Yeah.
then the
Well,
off season.
yeah,
And then
we'll definitely have to see how that goes. And on the other side of this break, let's get into the what's happening now because fuck is this NBA playoff series like it's going down. There's a lot of exciting points, so I can't wait to talk about it. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
Well, Coming back off break, we're gonna get right into our pick'em standings. Um, Kyle, I can see that fucking smirk from over here. um, so as you guys can tell by Kyle's little evilish grin over there, he's taking first place. He's at 16 and a half points now.
Yes, sir.
Fucking don't have to worry. Don't have to worry about Feist, but in number two
Uh,
we've got me myself who knows the script
Yep.
at 14 points,
Oh, so
and
you're just
then
setting me up. You're just giving me a little bit of
yeah, I'm just giving you a little bit of
hope.
leeway. Just giving you a little
Oh,
bit of
okay.
leeway.
Okay.
I'll catch up with you. I picked a few games wrong on purpose. That way you could feel like you had the
Oh,
lead, and then I have
just
the
so the
script again. So
podcast like had more
yeah,
credibility,
yeah,
right? Okay,
exactly,
gotcha,
exactly.
gotcha. Okay,
Um,
okay.
and then obviously our special guest from last week, Sean, he's at 12.33. And then last but least, we've got Fife here at 9.5. Only guy that's not in the double digits. Just had to throw that out there.
Play the sound, Vice. Play the sound.
Play it, play it.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not that one. The crows.
Well, that one. Wait, no.
Yep, yep.
hold on.
No, Vice. No. There we go.
There you go. There you
Now we got
go.
it. Now we got it. Vice, what are you doing, man? What?
I'm not good at gambling, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What do you want me to do about
Because we're
I don't
gambling. That's what we're doing.
know.
it? No way.
Well, that's the standings. What are the matchups? What are the
And
matchups we
then
got going on?
going into the matchups, first we'll talk about the OKC Thunder versus Dallas Mavericks.
What?
Um,
Huh?
Dallas right now is up 3-2 against the Thunder. And if we want to go into the pick'em standings with our picks for this playoff matchup, we have Kyle with OKC in 7, Feist with OKC in 6, myself with OKC in 5, and then Sean with OKC in 5.
So, I'm the only person that still has a chance of winning this. Because obviously OKC can't win in 6. They could win in 7, which Vice works out for both me and you. I know you're a Thunder fan, so
Yep.
let's make it happen.
I'll give him a talk for you. I mean, that last game we just played, man, game 6 or game 5, not good.
Not a fan.
Not good
Not
at
a fan
all.
of what you guys put up. I don't know, because my thing is, it's been a very like back and forth series. I feel like what was it? Was it game 4 or game 5? Was Dallas up 3-1?
No, they were up 2-1, and then
2-1,
OKC
and
tied
then
game
yeah, that's
2.
right. Or Oklahoma City won in game 4.
Yeah,
There's been a
that's when they
lot
came
going
back.
through this series. Like Luca's had his injury, his knee has been a problem, but it feel like he's been able to play through it. I mean, they kind of blew him out in game 2. That's what happened is he blew him out in game 2, and then in game 3, do you guys remember that clutch floater from Kyrie?
Yep,
Oh my goodness! Like even if he doesn't like play well the whole game, dude can find a way to make that shot when it counts.
be impactful for
Oh yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of this last game that we played just because. So yeah, game 1 we won. Game 2, oh no, they
Dallas
won.
won.
Dallas won. The game 3 or game 4 where we came back, where Dallas was
Game
up two to
3,
one,
so game 3, Dallas won. That was the clutch floater I was
and
talking about from
they were up
Kyrie.
2-1.
Yeah, and then the game 4 was when like Dallas was kind of blowing them out in the first
Yep,
half,
and came
and
back.
then they kind of clawed their way back in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter they did really good, and Dallas kind of shit the bed. Like for the whole game, Dallas went 12 for 23 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
And in the fourth quarter, in the last 2 minutes, they missed 4 free throws.
Oh wow.
And it was just like, and I remember watching your boy, SGA, talk about a clutch guy that's got that clutch gene. He was doing what he needed to do. And even Luka was at the free throw line missing free throws. So that
Yeah,
could
I
have been
mean,
a whole different point in the series, but you guys really clutched it out in game
yeah.
four.
I unfortunately I was gone. I was traveling in over abroad or overseas. I mean, I was in Switzerland at the time and in Germany, and so I didn't get to watch the games just because they were playing at like three in the morning when at my time, and so it was kind of frustrating. I didn't get to see those first four games, but when I watched this last game, game five, man, I just didn't like what I saw. They
Okay.
were um, they just looked lost out there. They weren't doing the things that they were supposed to do. SGA was doing his thing. Williams was doing his thing, but then it was like we were missing wide open threes. We weren't like a cohesive team that we normally are.
When I
And
remember we were talking about it, Vice, you were talking to me about how the Thunder, because they're a very good defensive team, and they
yep,
were they were working against Luca all night and
yep,
doubling him. But fuck, is that guy good, man? Because guess what he ended up with? I know we were talking about it all night. He ends up
yeah,
with a 30-point triple double in game five.
right. And the thing that they were doing a big time of is like doubling him, but he was able to find those role players open every single time for either a lob, easy lob, or an
Or
open
corner
three. So
three.
it wasn't like
Yep.
we were rotating out. So it was fine that we were doubling him.
Wesley, as Jazz fans, we understand the ability to find the wide open fucking corner three that's going to kill us for the rest of fucking time. But
Yep. Every fucking
But
time.
it was just
Vice, we
frustrating.
understand your pain. At least
Yeah,
is what
man.
I'm
I
trying to
mean,
say.
it was super frustrating because I knew what they were doing. It was working, um, but at the same time, it wasn't working because they Luca still got a triple double, like you said. He still got a 30 piece. But the thing is, Luca will always get his. We needed to figure out how when we're doubling him we need somebody else to rotate out to those three guys, and then always keep
Yeah,
somebody at the middle so then they can contest against those lobs. I'm not even kidding. I think it was like 4 or 5 times where they had easy lobs. One, Luca was on his side of the court, like half court. He threw a lob to a guy that was just wide open. So it just felt like I think the OKC was kind of lacking the entire time. Offense wasn't as like fired up as they normally are. SGA was doing his thing, but I felt like he was the only one that was doing anything. They also benched Josh Giddey, so he started out on the bench because his numbers have also dipped a little bit since the first round, and I'm worried now because I'm like this is a must win game tomorrow that they must
yep,
have they must win. But at the same time, I'm like, if they do win, that's gonna be a tough game seven. First off, and also, no matter who you face in the next round, that's a better team than Dallas. You know, whether it's the Denver, I almost said Denver Broncos. That's right. Anyways, but the Denver Nuggets, or if it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's gonna be a harder matchup than what you're
yeah.
facing now. So I'm just a little worried. I think if they pull off some stuff, I hope that it works, but I'm kind of worried now. I feel like we lost our identity, and um, I hope that we bring it back, but I don't know. I kind of
What are your? Give me two keys to the Thunder finishing out and winning this series. What do they need to do?
I think I think the number one thing is you put Dort. He's our best defender, so you put Dort on Luca, and you go back to the man matchup without having to double team Luca. And if you need
Okay.
to, like, let's say there's a screen because they're doing a lot of screens between him and Kyrie. So when Kyrie has the ball, you'll see Luca come up and set a screen for him. They're playing that two
Yeah.
man game,
Hmm.
and so if that happens, then I would try to rotate that so he Luca or Dort is always on Luca no matter what.
So don't switch.
You don't switch. You
Okay.
figure out a way to rotate around whatever it is, go through to get to Dort on Luca
Are
because
you more comfortable with Luca shooting threes then?
no,
If you're going to give him the space, or how do you
no,
not switch? And
that's the hard part. I think that I rather have them take the chance of him shooting the threes, but
okay,
he's our best defender, so you put that on him, and then SGA can guard Kyrie all day. That's a good matchup, regardless of how you look at it. I think that's number one thing, and then secondly, they need to go back to their high power offense where they're able to get guys wide open for threes and consistently knock down those threes because that's something that hurt us big time. That last game is our 3 point percentage was terrible. So those two things, I think, if you clamp down on Luca and not having to force the double, then you're not leaving anybody open, and also getting that high power offense that you had, where you were getting people open. Everybody knew SGA was the guy, but then everybody could still get a bucket. We were having two or three guys in double digits. Now we're having only one guy, and then a few other people that are just like barely like, you know what I mean. So it's just those are going to be the two big things that they need to do if they want to win Game 6 and they want to force a Game 7. That is going to be a huge thing. Now, I'm not going to be too mad about it. I will say this right now: if they do lose, I'm not mad about it. I'm happy with the result and what they've been able to do because that's a young team that's never been into this. Not a single player on that team has been to a playoffs.
right,
So
and they're already in the second round,
and I'm not mad about it. So now you have draft stock. Now you either
which is
draft
further
somebody else.
than I can ever say I've ever seen
Yeah. So I mean,
as a Jazz fan.
here we go again. I'm just kidding. Those Jazz must really suck. Um,
Yes.
but you just hope that something changes. So then the off season they go pick up somebody else, and that can help kind of turn around that veteran players to come in and help out when it's like playoff time. But I'm not mad. I'll say it right, like I said, say it right here. It's gonna be a great season, regardless of what happens. But I would like to see them push on to the conference finals. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see OKC there. Like I said, I've never seen OKC get this far in the playoffs in my lifetime. So,
okay,
uh,
I have. It was the 2014 NBA Finals. We had James Harden, Kevin Durant.
And you lost 4-1 and got your ass kicked by
Still went,
LeBron.
still went there,
but
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 then they all
well,
broke up.
let's move away from the OKC news a little bit. We'll get into the next series here. We've got the Denver Nuggets against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The series is now tied 3-3 with Game 7 being played on Sunday. So
let's go.
we'll see how this goes. We've got Kyle with the pick'em standings. We've got Kyle picking Minnesota in 7. Fife picking Minnesota in 7. I picked Denver in 6, which they fucking choked real hard on that. Um,
But Denver can still win,
they
so
can
you can
still
still get some
win. They can
points.
still win. And then Sean picked Minnesota in 5. So
What an idiot! Wait, hold on. We have something for him.
there, you, there you go. I mean, the last time we recorded the podcast, I think it was 2-0 Minnesota, and there was a lot of like reports where it looked like Minnesota, was cleaning house. They took 2 games in Denver. They're gonna win this series. They're done. But you gotta realize you have Nikola Jokic on the other side of the court, like the best NBA player in the world right now. And they come back in game 3 and they just crush them. Like it is not even close. Even with Rudy Gobert back in the lineup, because I know we talked about it last podcast, he was out for game 2 because of the birth of his son. But now there's a lot of like contr controversy, I would say, against Gobert because he can't guard Jokic because Jokic is killing him in this series. So Minnesota goes up 2-0, but then Denver wins three straight. And it's almost the like Gobert can't guard him or Gobert's not playing hard enough. Do you guys see that? Do you think Gobert needs to do better, or is Jokic just that good?
Well, I think it's hard for anybody really to guard Jokic. I mean, you know what I mean? I know that Rudy's what now a three-time defensive player of the year.
Four time.
Four-time. That's right,
Yep,
four-time.
four-time.
But Jokic is like I've never really seen anybody play with his play style before, which makes him so unique. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like he's a big, slow guy that can basically shoot from almost anywhere.
Yep.
He's an amazing passer. And it's like the game just comes so slow to him that it makes it so easy.
Yeah.
And so I mean I mean even defensive player of the year, I just think Jokic is that good that I don't think Rudy can really would be able to do that much against him.
Yeah, I mean, big country. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the MVP of the league for a reason. I mean, Shea should have won it, to be
Okay,
fair.
Shaq. Okay, Shaq.
Um, but just kidding. But you can't guard Jokic. I think you've seen all the
You
TikTok
literally
videos, right?
can't.
Like you literally
Yeah.
can't. The dude will literally throw up a prayer, and it's a freaking nice shot. I mean,
Or
and
he'll
it's
throw
not
up a
even a prayer.
pass. He
Yeah.
it's the game comes to him so much easier than anybody we've
Yep.
seen, I feel like.
Yep.
Almost.
And he's just so well rounded for how big he is. Everybody talks about 1BM or whatever, however you say his name, Wimby. Um, but you look at Jokic, he's doing it every single game. He's been doing it. He's an MVP back to back, and then this is his third one. So I'm like, there's a reason why nobody can guard this guy. He just does things that no big should be doing. And I don't blame Gobert. I know I gave you guys shit about it earlier, where I was like, yeah, Gobert needs to do better. Gobert needs to, if you're a defensive player of the year, but it's just hard. The guy is so freaking, he can be looking at you one way and throwing the ball to Jamal Murray, and that pick and roll is nuts.
Can I
So,
say something? Can I have a little bit of time on the
oh
floor?
yeah,
'Cause obviously I don't have enough. So can I just? No,
Yeah.
just kidding. But there was a thing on TNT that a lot of NBA fans might have seen. Draymond Green, he brought up that he could guard Jokic better than he's been guarded in this series.
yep,
Yeah.
Well, of the four matchups that he played against Jokic, he was out for three of them. And then the one that he was in, Jokic scored something like 30, 12, and 9.
And how much in the rotation did Draymond even guard
Right.
Jokic?
Exactly. I'm just like, dude, you guys got to stop the fucking hate because let me just like go off for a minute because I don't understand what the freaking hate is about Gobert. Like, the thing is Jokic is a different fucking player. And answer me this: who's shitting on Jokic? Anthony Davis, maybe a little bit for guarding him, but I just don't hear about anybody else guarding Jokic. Nobody cares. Oh,
yep,
Jokic is Jokic. Jokic is going to do what he is. But once he's against Gobert, oh, now let's throw in the scrutiny. Let's throw in the comparisons. Let's throw in how good he should be. But I
Well,
feel
he
like
is a
Gobert
four-time
is doing as
defensive player.
much as he can fucking do.
He is a four-time defense. I can see the argument sometimes, but I mean, yeah, like I was saying before, I mean, Jokic is Jokic, like you just said. But um, I think the reason why he gets compared so much is because now he's a four-time defensive player of the year, and
Because of his accolades.
Yeah, and I think just because now he has the four-time Defensive Player of the Year, I think now now that he's won that, he should be able to guard Jokic, and I think he gets all the scrutiny from it because of those accolades. And but I still don't think that anybody in this league can guard Jokic. No, I don't. Nobody can.
Let me ask you this: if it's not Gobert, who's the second guy? Who's the who should guard Gobert better than, or sorry, Jokic better than Gobert?
On the
Like,
Timberwolves or just
no,
across the
just
league?
in the NBA.
I
Draymond.
no, like I
That's what
just said, I
Draymond's
mean,
saying.
I can't name anybody else in the league that can guard Jokic. I mean, there's just nobody else that could. I don't even think Rudy can, and he's a four-time
Defensive
defensive
Player of the
player of the
Year.
year.
That's all tied for all-time Defensive Player of the Year wins. Like, Vice, do you see
Yeah,
anything? Like, is there a better player in the
I
NBA
can't
that
even
could?
think of a single player, dude. I'm like going through my mind. I'm like, who could guard him?
I think it's
I
just
don't think.
unfair. I don't think we've seen what Jokic can do, like ever in the NBA.
Yeah, well, and then he
But
has a good
let's.
sidekick too. So
What's that?
I said he does have a good sidekick too. So that kind of helps when you can have a great pick and roll game like that, and it makes things so much easier for you. And you have great role players all around you to the point where it's not just elevating your game, but you're helping them elevate their game. So I don't know what it is either. I don't think Draymond's Donkey A can guard Jokic, that's for sure. I'll put money on that. I'll put all my income for the whole year on that because he would just get cooked by him. Draymond Green would probably kick him in the balls, and then maybe that's how you would stop him. But dude, I don't even like Draymond Green. You know how I feel about Draymond Green. I think he has some of the dumbest comments, and when he's in the game, like he just is the him and Dylan Brooks are the worst players to just play against, and the things that they do on the court to get in people's heads, and it just drives me nuts. But good luck, man. Maybe you put Carl
Shout
Anthony
out,
Towns.
hey, before we get too far, shout out, guys, Wes, getting in people's heads.
Joe
Yeah.
Go
Ingles.
Eagles, baby.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't
No,
think
I
we could
get
have
what
a
you're
better
saying,
matchup.
Vice.
So
Yeah. But just before we get too far into that, just to finish out this series, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Anthony Edwards. He is my guy. Besides, like, obviously, I'm a Jazz fan. Anthony Edwards is my favorite non-Jazz player. He is balling the fuck out these days. I mean, he's scoring 44, 45 points in losses. He's doing everything for the Wolves. Um, and he's been backing up his trash talk. He's been talking every time they lose. He's been talking to the Nuggets or to Jamal Murray, like, "Hey, we're here. We'll be back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And I don't know. I love that guy. I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards, and he's been killing it for them all season, and in these playoffs. But let me get to back to Rudy Gobert, where I just don't even know where to start with this guy because obviously I love him, but guess what he did again? This. He made a money sign to the refs, and this dude gets fined another $75,000 for doing this. Like, Rudy, just don't do
what
this.
did he get
You
the first one for?
the same fucking
He
thing.
did
Yeah,
the
but
It
same
was just
why?
a
thing.
money thing towards the refs.
But what is the issue with it? I guess.
Betting,
Because he didn't get it.
sports betting.
Yeah, he didn't get a call
Oh,
his way, or yeah.
So he makes these symbols towards the refs. So he got that for the second time this
what
season,
a
which I
guy.
mean, if you're gonna continue to do that, Rudy, I guess you deserve it, but I don't know.
Dude, what
The
a
funny
Well,
thing
guy.
about this series is, so we talked about it. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they won the first two games in Denver, and then Denver wins the next two games in Minnesota. But then games 5 and 6, the home teams finally won. They finally won their games. And I think a big part of it is home court advantage and Mike Conley. I would be remiss without mentioning Mike Conley. He was out for Game 5, but he comes back for Game 6. And, jeez, I don't know if you guys saw Game 6 last night, but Minnesota just fucking
Torch.
torched Denver.
Yeah.
Just absolutely killed them.
Yep.
115-70.
Yeah.
70 points in an NBA game in 2024. That's a first half score,
Yeah.
not a final game score. And now we're going into Game 7. And I know you guys have probably seen the memes about Jokic looking all pissed on the bench. What do you guys think happens in Game 7?
Well, I, I obviously hated it because I picked Denver in 6. So fucking. But no, I mean the MVP coming back after a loss like that in the series, like, I mean, you better come out and show why you're the MVP. Fucking bring your team back and rally the troops and fucking get back into Game 7 and fucking let's go win Game 7. Go advance. You know what I mean? Like this is the
In
reason why
Denver,
you're the
yeah.
MVP. This is the reason why you're the MVP. This is your moment to show exactly why. This is the reason to shut Shaq up. You know what I mean? Like.
Fuck, would I love that.
I I would say that Minnesota would take this one actually because I don't know if you saw Anthony Edwards actually took the blame for the game before Game 5 when they lost. He's like, yeah, it's my fault. I should have been playing better. And I feel like Edwards is just gonna build off of what he did in Game 6, and I think everybody's gonna elevate their game because they
Mhm.
know what's on the line. So in my opinion, I think Minnesota still takes this one. And it's gonna be a freaking dog fight. It's gonna be two dogs going at it. Jokic is gonna do his thing, but I think what they're probably gonna end up doing is switch him to Carl Anthony Towns because I feel like Carl Anthony Towns can probably guard him more on the wings, like the up, like at the perimeter, a little bit
No,
better,
no, no,
maybe.
no, no.
But I think maybe he's a
We
little
can't
bit
have the
faster.
disrespect on this program. No,
No,
no.
there's no disrespect. I just it's just kind of a little true though. I think that he would be a better perimeter player defensively
All
than
right,
Gobert.
all
I think
right.
I
Gobert
do
would be a
gotta
little
say
bit slower.
we've
Huh?
seen Gobert get fucking torched and he comes out to the perimeter.
Yeah. So that's the only reason. But I don't know. Either way, it's gonna be a good game, and we'll be watching that for sure. So
Maybe we'll have to do a little live video reaction for Game 7. That might be fun. Your favorite couch
Maybe.
potatoes getting involved. All
there
right.
you go.
Let's move on to the Eastern Conference, though. Wesley, what do you got for us in the Eastern Conference?
So, the first game we'll talk, or the first series we'll talk about, we'll go into the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, Boston is now
Look at this guy.
Boston took the series 4-1.
Look at this guy.
Um, um, so Kyle had them in
In what
five.
and
So
how many
obviously,
games?
yeah, okay. No, I'm not talking to you no more.
All
Um,
right, I'll just sit back. I'll just sit back. I'll sit back. Okay, you guys go ahead. I'll just sit back.
this Feist, can you believe this guy? He picked one series.
Yeah, well, he's done it twice now. Actually, he's done it with the Pacers one too. So he
Oh,
just
well,
is
then
like gloom.
why you gotta hype his ego up?
Oh,
Why'd you go against me there?
he's just glooming up there, dude. He's just oh my gosh.
So, anyways, Kyle took Boston in five, so obviously he gets the most amount of points. I took Boston in six, so I was one game short. Sean took Boston in six also, and then
Guys, show
Feist,
your
can you play
face. Show your face.
Feist, can you play your sound for me?
Yeah, there we go.
Wrong one, wrong one. You got to play the other one. There it is. Vice took the Cavs in 7. The Cavs in
Feist,
7.
why?
Let
Why
me,
did you do that?
as Kevin Hart said, let me explain. Okay, all right. The reason why is I thought Boston was gonna choke. I thought that they weren't gonna do as well as they normally do, and then I also thought the Cavaliers had a chance, dude. I mean, the sucky part is this is what is driving me nuts. I was talking to our buddy Brian, right, Brian Howard, and I was like, dude, what is going on? These star players keep getting injured, and when their team needs them, it's a must-win game. They're not able to play. Giannis, that happened to him. He was not even, and then afterwards, the reports come out that he wasn't even close to being ready to play. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is out for 2 games that were crucial. When he played the game before, was it game 3? And they
He
won
played
that
in
game.
game two. He and game three. He was out game four and game five.
So game 3 is the one where he dropped like 50 points, right? He dropped like 45 or 50
That was
points.
game two.
Was it game 2? But
Yeah.
you look at what he's able to do. He's able to do, um, and you have that star player doing what he does best, scoring, and then you don't have that anymore. Imagine not having 40 points from one player, and then that team is basically involved around him and not having him for 2 games that were crucial to winning this series. And that's why I was like kind of irritated because this whole NBA playoffs, it's been star players getting injured, missing multiple games. And I think that if Donovan was able to play, this would have been a more of a battle series. I think they would have been able to get it to game like 5 or 6 or whatever. I mean, past 5.
But not
Um,
game 7.
but not probably not game 7. I was throwing something out
How
there.
the
Hopefully,
fuck did you pick the Cavs in any amount of games?
dude, because it's the Celtics. That's what they're known for is to choke.
Also,
So
I think Feist has a little bit of a conspiracy theory going here with all the big name all stars getting injured in key moments in the series. I think
yeah,
he's trying to throw a conspiracy theory out here, man. Come on
yeah,
now.
just something's going on, man. Somebody needs to give me the script because I'm not understanding what's going on. Because these big players, be big time players, getting injured and missing time just does not sound right to me. I just
No, Feist. I gotta stop you there. I'm the only person that has the script here.
well, tell me what's going on, man, because I don't know what's going on.
Well, obviously Boston was going to win that in five. Knew that.
Didn't get that
I
one.
told you. I'm giving you the lead a little bit.
All right. Let's move on. Because get this. We all picked the New York Knicks. All right. I'm going to spoil the surprise. All of us. Me, you, Wes, Sean. All of us picked the Knicks. I think me and you, Feist, we picked the Knicks in 6. Sean and Wesley picked the Knicks in 5. I have some upsetting news. The Pacers are absolutely demolishing the Knicks as we speak.
Yikes.
Yep.
So it's going to game 7.
Yep.
So Fives, me and you are in the best in the catbird seat right now. Where if the Knicks win in game 7, we'll get the most points. But this series has been fucking wild because I feel like every home game in this series, they've just been blowing like the other team out. It's not
Yeah.
like besides game 1, I think game 1 was like the controversy where there was the illegal screen call and the kickball call. But other than that, it's just been blowouts. So what's for sure is we're going to game 7. And now we're all picking the Knicks, which it will be in New York. So, what do you guys think? You think New York finishes it out in Madison Square Garden?
Well, Jalen Brunson's balling out. First off, shout out to that guy, dude. He's just cooking it left and right. I watched game 5 or game 4. I don't remember which one it was where he dropped like 40 plus points. And that dude was like they were double teaming him. They were like playing super physical on him, but he was just freaking cooking them still. So I still believe that the Knicks still take this. I think they still have a higher power offense. But this game is about offense. I feel like there hasn't really been a whole lot on the defense. But I'm all for the Knicks taking this one and going. As much as it hurts, because that freaking annoying CERN ESPN guy that hates on the Cowboys all the time loves the Knicks, but can't name a single player on the team anyway.
How
But
about them
yeah, that guy.
Cowboys?
As much as it hurts, I think the Knicks still take this one. I'm okay with that. So
Yeah, I think Vice, we're both okay with that, and Sean and Wesley have to be okay with that if the Pacers end up winning the series. Okay. And Kyle might still be in pretty good position after these conference semifinals. So we'll have to see Feist. I think you'll get some points eventually. Just don't pick against the Celtics. Like, for the love of God, I don't know why you would. Again.
hey, Knicks in
But
seven.
all right, Feist, you're staying at 9.5 points. And on that note, we will check you guys all later. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Your Favorite Couch Potatoes. As always, I am your host, Kyle Jacobs, joined by my awesome co hosts, Feisty and Big Country. And we'll check you guys next time. See ya.